Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In today's video we will be looking into part 3 of integrating GraphQL with Spring Boot. In this video we will be learning two things. One is pagination for our query and second one is mutation for adding a new user. So firstly what I'll do is that I have started my server and quickly I will insert some data in my database. This is for query part, so don't worry about it. So I'll quickly run this. And if you don't remember, like this is an in-memory database, so the data gets lost as soon as our server is closed. So I'll enter a bunch of posts in my database as well, in my table. So here all these posts have been added. Now I can go to my GraphQL interface. I will go to my query of my query, and here I will just add this recent post. So I have added this one query, so which takes a page as well as a size. Now please note the page starts from 0 and not from 1, and if you remember I have added like 10 posts, so I can make the size whatever I want to. I will keep it as 5 and I want the ID, title and description. And if I run this, here you can see I get 5 posts. I can make this as 7 as well, and here you can see I'm getting 7 posts. Now if I make this as 1 and if I do the size as 2, here you can see I am getting the third and fourth post. Okay, so yeah, now that's how you can use pagination to fetch data. So yeah, if I just make this as 0 again, I can get first, second post. I'll just make this as 3, first, second, third. Okay, if I make this as 1, fourth, fifth, sixth. So yeah, that's what this is. So let's see. So this is for pagination. I'll also show you for mutation. So I just click on this plus button over here. So for mutation I have created a separate tab and it is an add user mutation. Now don't worry about this name, you can give this name as whatever you like my mutation. Okay, and here I am adding a user which takes an add user input, and it only takes a name because the ID is automatically generated. So I'll just give it a name as nobody. Okay, and if I run this, here you can see you will get a UUID for this. And if I go to my database, I'll just quickly run a select statement. So one user I have added via SQL statement and one via mutation. So here you can see I'm able to see 2 users. So that's what we will be checking out on how to do this. So first go to your project. Okay, I'll comment this out. First you will have to go to schemas.graphql. So for query you will have to add this query recent post. It takes a page as well as a size and returns an array of post. Okay, and for mutation you will have to create another type called mutation. Mutation is basically adding data into your database. So for REST API endpoints we have something like post, put, patch, delete. For in GraphQL we only have mutation. Mutation does all this thing. Okay, so here we are just adding a user, and once the user has been added I'm just returning the ID. Now I'll go to postresolver.java, and here I have created one query mapping. Now this name should be the same whatever you have defined over here. Okay, be careful also for this inputs as well. So if you see over here recent post, page and size, and given they are inputs we have to annotate it with @ argument, and for queries we just have to use @ query mapping. And then I have just created, I'm just returning post service.get post page comma size, and I have created this method inside our post service.java class. So all I am doing is that depending on page and size I am creating a page request, then I am just calling find all from our JPA, passing our page request, then I'm just doing get content.stream.map, mapping over each and every post, and then just converting it to a list. Okay, so yeah, that's it for post service. For user service, like for adding a user, so here you can see given that it is a mutation you will have to mark it with @mutation mapping. Okay, it returns a UUID. Again this name should be same whatever you have defined over here. This name also should be same whatever you have defined over here. But what I have done is that I don't want this to be add user input, I only want it to be user input. So you can inside the @ argument annotation you can pass like map add user input to user input. If you don't want to do this you can do something like this, just like what you have done above. You can do something like this. okay, but you will have to use this add user input because that's how it has been defined inside our GraphQL file. And then from that user input I'm just getting the name. So if you see add user input, it just takes a name. Okay, so here I'm just getting the name. Now you might be wondering from where I have gotten this add user input. So firstly, before that, you will have to go to user.java, and here I have created one more constructor which only takes a name because UUID is automatically generated. So create this constructor first. Also in our domain I have created this class called add user input, which just takes a name, created a constructor for it, created getter setters for it as well. And that's how I'm referencing this inside our post resolver.java add user input. Okay, and if you see, I have created an add user method as well. So here once we have the name, we are creating a new user, and then we are calling save method from our JPA, and if the user.getID is equal to null, then we are throwing an exception, otherwise we are just returning the ID. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.